Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the National News Broadcast. We're coming to you live from Rupavahini's News Studios. I'm Anjali Ananda.
And I'm Vibhuda Vijay Bandara. Let's have a look at today's top stories first. President says that the government is dedicated to safeguard the rights of everyone by being sensitive to the problems of the professionals. Siridat Dhammika, a retired superintendent of Busa prison, has been shot dead. Crop damage compensation within 2 months for the first time in history for 53,000 farmers. Another suspect connected with the Midenia triple murder has been taken into custody at Katunayaka. A male and a female suspect in custody until the 17th of this month in connection with the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital incident. The electronic broadcasting conference to be held in Sri Lanka. A global trade crisis due to the tax policy of the USA.
Now for those and other stories in detail. Special religious programs were organized in Buddhist temples island-wide to mark the Madin full moon Poya day today. According to the history of Buddha Sasana, after attaining Buddhahood, Gautama Buddha visited his native kingdom, Kapilavastu city, accompanied by 20,000 Buddhist monks on a Madin Poya day. After listening to the Buddha's sermon, father of Prince Siddhartha, King Suddhodana, attained Sowan on this Poya day. Ordination of Prince Nanda and Rahula and chanting the Sandakindru Jataka in praise of Princess Yashodhara were also taken place on this Poya day. According to the Buddha Sasana, Gautama Buddha has shown his spiritual powers emitting fire and water from his body simultaneously in order to break down the superiority complex of the members of Shakya clan in the same Poya day. In memory of the importance of the Madin full moon Poya day, many religious programs were organized in Buddhist temples and centers island-wide. Many devotees were observing Sil, and all Buddhist religious places were crowded with devotees throughout the day. The Munisiripa Vandana Poya Day program, organized annually by the national television, was telecast live for the 42nd occasion. Many affiliated programs, including Dhamma sermons, Dhamma discussions and Buddha Puja events, were also telecast throughout the day from Sripa, the sacred site today. All religious programs were organized under the guidance of Chief Incumbent of Sri Bhattasthanaya, Venerable Bengamwe Sri Dhammadina Thera.
A meeting between President Anurakumar Dissanayake and academics of the Federation of University Teachers Association was held today at the Presidential Secretariat. During the discussion, the academics briefed the President on the challenges they are currently facing and potential solutions to address these issues were examined. It was highlighted that Sri Lanka is presently engaged in International Monetary Fund program, which requires the government to adhere to the recommended guidelines and parameters. Accordingly, this year's budget proposals have been formulated with a focus on the revenue and expenditure limitations, prioritizing education and healthcare. It is also highlighted that despite these financial limitations, the government has implemented the largest ever increase in the basic salary of public sector employees. The President assured that the government is fully aware of the challenges faced by all professional groups and is committed to addressing them sensitively while safeguarding the rights of all individuals. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, along with ministers, representatives of the Federation of University Teachers Association and several others were present on this occasion.
Chairman of the Agrarian Insurance Board, Prem Sri Jasingarachi, says that compensation has been paid within 2 months for the first time in the history for the farmers whose crop had been damaged during the recent rainy season. He made this observation participating in a media meeting held in Colombo today. Chairman of the Agrarian Insurance Board, Prem Sri Jasingarachi, said that compensation was paid within 2 months for the first time in the history for crop damages occurred in the month of November. The government had paid an amount of 952 million rupees by yesterday for 61,071 acres of paddy land. In the meantime, the Consumer Affairs Authority in a communique says that the wholesale price of rice and maximum retail price has not been changed or removed. The authority in a statement further said that information has been received where wholesale traders and certain paddy mill owners are informing retail traders that the prices issued for rice has been changed in order to sell rice at a higher price. Continuous raids and investigations are being conducted in order to take stern legal action against those traders who sell rice at a higher price than the retail price. Until the 12th of March, investigations have been carried out in more than 5,500 shops and legal action has been taken against 4,070 erratic traders. The Consumer Affairs Authority further states that steps have been taken to initiate legal action against 1,555 rice traders from among those traders. Among them are 462 traders who sold rice at a higher price, 1,004 traders who did not display the price index, and 89 other traders who refused to sell rice or ordered it. Cases have been filed against 4,122 traders and the fine ordered by the court has been 61 million rupees. Siridat Damnika, a retired superintendent of Busa prison, has been shot dead yesterday. According to the Akmiman police, the shooting has been committed in front of his residence by 2 persons who came in a motorcycle. Damika has been shot dead while he was doing gardening in front of his residence. He has been immediately taken to Karapitia Teaching Hospital with gunshot injuries on his head. Police says that he had been already dead by the time. 61-year-old deceased father of a child had retired about 1 year back. According to the police, several teams have been engaged in order to take the suspects into custody.
Another suspect needed regarding the Madin triple murder was taken into custody at Katunayake Airport yesterday by the CID. The suspect was to leave the country for Dubai at the time of the arrest. The suspect is a resident of the Katuwana area and accused of abetting a triple murder. He had fled his native area and hid in the Talav area. The suspect is to be handed over to the Madin police for further investigations. Police say that 13 suspects have been arrested so far in connection with this murder. Investigations are being carried out jointly by the Madin police and the Tangala Divisional Crime Investigation Bureau.
The suspect who was taken into custody yesterday regarding the incident occurred at Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital recently was presented before the Chief Magistrate of Anuradhapura today. Chief Magistrate of Anuradhapura, Nalaka Sanjeeva Jayasuriya, permitted police to interrogate the suspect 48 hours. Anuradhapura police has taken into custody the 37-year-old woman on allegations of aiding and abetting the suspect who is connected with this incident. The reason for her arrest has been aiding the suspect to go into hiding. Another suspect also has been taken into custody who was in collision with the female suspect on the allegation of possessing a snatched mobile phone. The magistrate ordered them to be kept in custody until the 17th of this month.
Consultant Dr. Rupa Kanangar says that harassment made to a female medical officer in the Anuradhapur hospital can be pointed out as a climax of this declined and dilapidated socio-political system. She also points out that the entire society should come forward for the security of women. Rupa Kanangar of Colombo National Hospital says that this is the climax of the declined Sri Lankan socio-political situation. A female doctor is ready to serve at any part of the island without any fear or suspicion. The society should provide security for such officials. This incident highlights that the entire female community is not safe at this moment. Therefore, all should rally round to transform this society as conducive one for women. Many indecent activities had occurred in this hospital. All relevant staff members had informed the authorities regarding this situation. However, their request was not properly addressed. Therefore, the hospital authorities should take responsibility in this unfortunate incident. Legal actions should also be taken against them.
Attention has been paid to conduct an electronic broadcasting conference in Sri Lanka jointly by the Association of Electronic Broadcasters and the Ministry of Mass Media. A discussion in this regard was held recently at the auditorium of the Department of Government Information. The discussion was held under the leadership of Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa. Aim of this is to create a platform in order to address challenges in media, responsibilities and future expectations for professionals in electronic broadcasting field and media experts. It is also expected to promote the best application in the quality of media and entertainment. Attention will also be paid to the solutions of existing problems, publication rights and the broadcasting industry in the next 5 years. A decision has been taken to hold the conference in the month of June. The conference can be attended through online methodology, and a proposal has also come up to hold a workshop only for the media persons after the conference.
The operations to trace Tusker Sumedha, whose tusk was broken in an accident, continues. The operations are being carried out based on the information given by the residents of the area. Tusker Sumedha was met with a road accident at the Gala Pitta Gala area along the Habarana Maradankadavala road at about 6 a.m. last Friday. Teams of wildlife officials are conducting continuous operations around the clock since that day. Wildlife officials and police STF officials are engaging in these operations through the information received by the residents and the footprints of the elephant. It is reported that some residents of the area have given some information about the elephant's whereabouts yesterday as well. Internationally renowned singer, songwriter and entrepreneur Aloe Blacc visited Sri Lanka's national television for an exclusive interview during his visit in the country.
His two-day visit highlighted his growing interest in investment, innovation and cultural exchange beyond his music career. Aloe Blacc arrived in Sri Lanka at the invitation of the government of Sri Lanka and Sri Lanka Tourism. While best known for global hits like I Need a Dollar and Wake Me Up, his visit focused on exploring Sri Lanka's potential as an investment destination. He aims to connect international investors with local entrepreneurs and innovative projects in biotechnology, agriculture and organic products. During his interview with the national television, Blacc shared his excitement about Sri Lanka's potential and his vision for fostering partnerships between Sri Lankan businesses and global investors. His visit reflects his belief in blending creativity, entrepreneurship and social responsibility to make a meaningful impact worldwide.
What we want to know is, what brings you to Sri Lanka? Why Sri Lanka? How did that whole thing come up?
Well, you know, Sri Lanka is the homeland of my new friend, Dr. Gomika Urugamasoria. Back during the pandemic, I had COVID, but I had been vaccinated and boosted. And I was really, really upset that the mRNA technology was not keeping me from getting sick. So I was looking for a prophylactic, something that could stop the virus. I started reading all the scientific papers, and the one that made the most sense to me was the one that Dr. Urugamasoria had written about his molecular mask technology. His technology works. I sponsored some research and I became a believer. Not only a believer, I became a friend. Every time I would visit Mr. Urugamasoria, he would share so much about the culture and about this country, and I knew I had to visit. So this was a perfect opportunity to come and learn more and see what the opportunities are here from a research and development perspective.
So what are the factors that you consider when you thought about doing some business with Sri Lanka?
The business factors that matter to me are whether or not it's a sound investment, because I'm looking out for my family and what's possible for the future, but does this sound investment also have a double bottom line? It's not just about money, it's about progress, it's about community, it's about people. And so, you know, Sri Lanka is giving me this opportunity to see what are the sectors. I've come here and met with some of the manufacturers in the agricultural industry. When I'm looking at all the possibilities and opportunities that are here, what comes to mind obviously is music. Will I have an opportunity to perform in Sri Lanka? And so I understand that, you know, it's not very often that Western artists are coming to perform here, but I think that there's a possibility of building an infrastructure, a platform that will allow for Western artists to come and perform in Sri Lanka more often, but not just as an extractive process of earning an income for the artist and leaving, but as a mutually beneficial opportunity to draw money from China, money from India, and by way of tourism. People who want to come and see these artists will come to watch the concert, but spend money on hotels, spend money at the restaurant. And this way, it is again a virtuous cycle, mutual beneficial between the customer and the provider.
It's going to be all over now, but I'm going to ask you to wake me up before it's all over. Maybe sing a little bit of it, a couple of lines.
So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost.
Political parties have placed their deposits for 261 local government institutions in 25 districts. The Election Commission says that the independent groups have placed their deposits for 36 local government bodies. The National People's Power today placed the deposits for the Homagama Pradesh Sabha at the Colombo District Secretariat. NPP parliamentarians Anra Panagoda and Susanta Dodavatta were present at this occasion.
The COPA committee members expressed strong dissatisfaction towards the officials of the Department of Registration of Motor Vehicles for non-implementation of their recommendations. The Auditor General informed them to implement the relevant recommendations and present the reports to the COPA committee in the future. The Committee on Public Accounts expressed strong dissatisfaction towards the Department of Motor Traffic for appearing before the committee without prior preparation. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss the Auditor General's reports for the years 2020, 2021, 2022 and 2023 as well as the department's current performance. During the meeting, the committee inquired into the implementation of directives issued during previous meetings. In particular, the Auditor General had presented 25 observations regarding illegal vehicle registrations that had taken place prior to the integration with the customs computer system. The committee expected to report detailing the investigations conducted on these matters and the disciplinary action taken against the responsible officials. However, the Auditor General pointed out that such a report had not been submitted. Although the officials present claimed that a report has been provided, the Auditor General stated that he had not received it. A copy of the purported report was tabled during the session, but upon examination, the Auditor General informed the committee that it was entirely unsatisfactory. As a result, the committee conducted an extensive inquiry into the matter, but the officials failed to provide satisfactory responses. They stated that they did not possess the relevant information dating back. In response, the committee expressed strong dissatisfaction of the officials' conduct and decided to summon the department again at a later date. The officials were also instructed to be thoroughly prepared when appearing before the committee on the next occasion. The Japan International Cooperation Agency and the Japan Fair Trade Commission have expressed their support for policy reforms and institutional enhancement aimed at ensuring the supply of high-quality goods and services in Sri Lanka while safeguarding both consumers and producers. This was discussed at a meeting held yesterday at the Presidential Secretariat with representatives of these organizations and the Secretary to the President, Dr. Nandika Sanatkumar Nayaka. During the discussion, the rep emphasized that the establishment of fairness in trade would protect both consumers and producers while fostering the competitive market in the country. They also emphasized how Japan's competitive trade policies contributed to its economic progress, explaining that such policies not only help to protect consumer rights but also stimulate innovation. Secretary to the President noted that this year's budget has placed special emphasis on the required policy adjustments to promote fair trade while elevating the Sri Lanka's market to a higher level. He also briefed the representatives on these planned reforms. The Secretary to the President, Dr. Nandika Sanatkumar Nayaka, has instructed officials from the Ministries of Agriculture, Livestock, Land and Irrigation and Urban Development, Construction and the Housing to take all necessary measures to minimize potential flooding in the Mathura district due to heavy rainfall. These directions were given by the Secretary to the President during a meeting held yesterday at the Presidential Secretariat with officials from all relevant ministries and institutions. The progress of the previous discussion on the project of salinity barrier across Nilvala River, led by the Secretary to the President, was reviewed during the meeting. Various short-term and long-term measures to control the flooding in the Mathura region caused by the barrier were proposed, and all parties agreed to take necessary steps. Furthermore, by April, measures will be taken to deepen the Nilvala estuary and canal routes to the temporarily retained excess water during flood situations. The Irrigation Department also proposed increasing the capacity of the water pumps currently using to accelerate water drainage. The Secretary to the President, Dr. Kumar Naika, also instructed that all measures taken to this matter be reported to the Mathura District Development Committee. A group of students from Hambantara St. Mary's National School, Nakulugamu, Morakati Ara, Junior College and Nalanda College, Colombo visited the Presidential Secretariat and the President's House yesterday as a part of an educational tour. Coinciding with the tour, students were also educated about the Clean Sri Lanka program, a key government initiative. Senior Additional Secretary to the President, K.M.N. Kumara Singha, briefed the students on the objectives of implementation of the program. As a symbolic gesture, the valuable plant was gifted to each participating school for cultivation within their premises. And we have more news from home in brief. A Sri Lankan criminal, Balachandran Gajendra, who evaded arrest in hiding in Chennai, India, has been taken into custody today at the Katunayaka airport by the airport security officials. The 36-year-old suspect is a resident of Mutwal area and needed by the police for several crimes, including having heroin in his possession and several murders. A fire broke out in a shop in Petta area, totally damaging the shop. Fire Brigade of the Colombo Municipal Council doused the fire and prevented spreading to the other shops. An elephant that was brought for a function held at Hindu Kovil in Kotagala yesterday has attacked the youth. This incident occurred while the victim had attempted to feed the elephant after the function. That's a look at your local news. Stay tuned for international stories coming up next.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
The tariffs on all steel and aluminium imports in the United States have come into effect, intensifying the global trade war sparked by President Donald Trump.
New tariffs on metal imports took effect yesterday, levying a 25% duty with no exceptions or exemptions. Trading partners were quick to express their objections, with some swiftly announcing retaliation. The tariffs came into play as exemptions, duty-free quotas and product exclusions expired. In addition, the duty on aluminium was raised from 10%. Separate tariffs have been levied on Canada, Mexico and China, with plans to tax imports from the European Union, Brazil and South Korea, also by charging reciprocal rates starting on April 2nd. President Trump has claimed that the taxes will help the US metals sector and create jobs. However, the new tariffs are jolting markets, raising fears of an economic slowdown and threatening to raise prices for consumers. The European Commission responded immediately as the tariffs came into play, announcing counter duties on $28 billion worth of US goods starting next month. Canada, the biggest foreign supplier of steel and aluminium to the US, is considering reciprocal actions. Australian government has denounced the move as entirely unjustified and against the spirit of the two nations' enduring friendship, but ruled out tit-for-tat duties.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
The adorable panda cubs born last year have become the stars of Chengdu, the capital city of southwest China's Sichuan province. Reports say that they charm visitors with their playful and curious antics. One mischievous cub was caught on camera vigorously shaking its head to dry off, looking like a pellet drum in action. Another adventurous cub took on the tree, stretching its tiny arm to reach a distant branch, showcasing its determination and agility. A third cub stole hearts as it sat on a wooden frame, choosing its nimble and flexible feet to scratch and itch with adorable precision. These three delightful cubs, all less than 1 year old, are thriving in their necessary houses and winning over the hearts of everyone who visits the Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding. The Chengdu research base, regarded as a world-renowned institution for conservation of giant pandas, is now a major tourist attraction and one of Chengdu's most visited giant panda bases. The Sri Lankan Lions won the match against Afghanistan Pathan in the Asian Legends League T20 cricket tournament by 13 runs.
The match was played in Udaipur in India yesterday. Sri Lankan Lions won the toss and decided to bat first. Accordingly, they scored 169 runs for 9 wickets in their 20 overs. Ravin Sayar scored 35 runs and Leo Francisco scored 31. Sahajit Khan Pathan and Farman Ahmad of Afghanistan team claimed 2 wickets each. In reply, Afghanistan Pathans could only score 156 runs all out in 19.5 overs. Captain Asghar Afghan scored 69 runs. Vikum Sanjay claimed 4 wickets and Uppul Indrasiri claimed 3 wickets.
And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on Channel Eye. I'm Dilanjali, together with Vivida, signing off. Good night.